Yeah.
They may be the sweetest bees in the world today, but you never know. I think I've only got 7 or 8 that's got bees in them back here. I've still got some at the other yard, so I got to get moved over. These girls are bringing some pollen in.
Call him on camera.
We got him.
At least there's no beetles on that. Too happy.
Huh? You can still just aim it toward it. Did it turn on?
It's been way too long since we've seen that.
They get a little testy sometimes, but
They are kind of
you still
fussy.
got some honey in there, but the population don't look good. Starting to try to get cloudy, and we got rain coming in this evening. That's last year's honey still on. I never did pull it off. Yeah, I mean, population-wise, they're looking decent. So far, I ain't seen a beetle. I did kill a couple beetles, and each one of the ones that I ate today. Sideways, so it just slides them off the side, and then they got to go back in the front.
Need a coat of paint on that, do you?
Nah, I need to get some wax dip lids from Greg or something. I think that was a 2020 lid. That's before I started priming them, though, I believe.
Yeah.
It come with like a little cheap prime, but then I'll paint it over. This one right here, #1. That's my best hive. I've had up to 6 medium supers on it at one time. Filled to the rim. Built in between these. I got these all spaced out at 9. So between the little gaps, we're doing it all fertilized. See, still full of honey.
You feel like a movie star with all these cameras on you?
Well, Lee ain't got his.
Yeah, I didn't even bring mine out here.
Then he's got his camera made over there.
Nothing in it though.
They practice.
Some of that dark fall honey they brought in. They did pull it off. I could probably extract 1 or 2 of these boxes and move it off to this hive because they got some population down in there, but not near as much as that last one had. But that's still what 2 supers or 3 supers I got on this one. down without like jamming it too much and shaking them around. I'll go ahead and pull off one more and see. That one's still heavy. That one's starting to get low on honey. It looks like they done burnt through this box.
That's the closed box.
Yeah. That frame's almost empty. I'm not even seeing it.
You could probably put it on top.
Yep. But I might just leave it there for now because we already had nectar coming in next week or two a little bit anyway. So maybe if they come in, they'll start filling that box up, and I can pull these two top ones off. Yeah, and extract them. Get this closer to me. This one here used to be my most aggressive hive, but it's done calmed down. So I'm figuring it requeened. But you can see they put a good bit of propolis around there.
Yeah.
I love hearing that Avalon down.
But this was the
Put them
first
boxes
hive
back
I
on.
ever had, and it's always been my strongest. The one next to it, that's one of the ones that I got from the beekeeper passed away a few years ago.
I remember that one.
That one has always been weak since I got it, but I never did requeen it. I was trying to let them requeen themselves. Little bees in there. This was another one that come through that it had. And I never did fix the bottom box. That was the box that I got from him earlier in it, and it was missing two frames, so they got the wild comb. I never did do anything with it.
Oh, wow.
There you go.
Oh,
No inner cover on this one. And Beetle.
Smash them.
Try to get
Hey, don't do
fly
what
off.
Joey did now. Get yourself in trouble.
Yeah, that one got a bunch of beetles.
yeah.
That's the most I've ever seen.
That's a good looking box, huh?
Yep.
They've always been strong.
They're good bees too.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I'm trying to help you.
What's that, girl?
This is getting stressful.
Instead of whack-a-mole, whack-a-beetle.
Very
That's a
gentle
lot
bunch
of
right here.
beetles.
Mhm.
I've never seen that many out here
We've
yet.
had 10 worse.
We're going to show you the beauty of this. Let's see if I can get this around here. There we go. While they smash the hive. Let's see what to do.
What?
I said we're enjoying the beauty of this.
Yeah.
While they smashing the hive beetles there.
Yep.
Stress
Well,
relief.
I was about to say, we getting stress relief. Yeah, maybe killing all those at least help out. They can take care of some of the other ones that might be in that box itself. But, I mean, you can see the population's good in there.
Oh yes, I can, but feels like home.
Yeah.
They all expired.
Yeah, they've been alive. Yeah, I mean, population's good.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Meaner seems decent.
No, they gentle, they.
Let's more general with
I can't even see what honey they got in here right now. We'll see if we can pull a frame out and see if they stay just as calm or not. Like I said, these things are fertilized pretty good. Still gotta move. You ain't got to, but I need you to.
Hmm.
Well,
Try not to squish you.
yeah.
Get a little testing.
They gonna make me back up. man. Hey. First thing I was in the way.
I'm trying to lower it down slow so we get time to get out from under. I got a bunch of equipment out here that's done got bad. I need a burn pile. Piling coming in. They were bringing in a good bit the other day, all of them. Another big one.
She forgot to put them boots on, didn't she?
Oh, I forgot all about that. There's a good population in the ones that are alive. Starting to think about splitting them soon.
You know, I bought cattle tags for my boxes years ago and never have used them.
I started using them to begin with. I had the cattle tags on the brood box, and then I
Yeah.
had sheep or goat tags on the supers. And I was going to keep track in my computer what yard they were in, when I
Yeah.
put them there, stuff like that. And I think I done it for about a month.
Yeah.
Now the only thing I do keep track of, and the tag don't have nothing to do with it, on the inside of every box, I write in a tick mark of what year I
Yeah.
bought the box. That way when something does get bad,
Yeah.
I can go back and look what year it was, how long it lasted. But the tag itself, in the computer, it tells me what brand or who I bought it from. That way I know, hey, their box has lasted longer than this company's box.
Yeah. But I had got the tags actually to, you know, for any kind of notes I might have took or recorded. But I changed that method and started actually numbering the location, the hive rail, you know, and just no matter what hive is there in that location, that's what the documentation is for. If I happen to move it to another yard,
Oh, so basically you put a number where
Right,
the actual box sits?
yeah, I'll just like this one. This is number 1. I'll just put 1 here and go all the way down,
Okay.
and whatever's in that location is what I do now.
Yeah, I just did one.
I forgot all about them boots, so I'm sorry.
No, I forgot too.
But, yeah, I mean, population's looking good in them. I'm gonna have to do splits on some before long, especially one you got a couple of queen cups in it. Hopefully, even though I'm working 12-hour shifts, at least they're night shifts, so I get home in the morning time, I may be able to do something. Working 12-hour days, I get home and it's already dark.
Yeah.
This way, maybe I can get a little bit done in the morning before I go to sleep. But yeah, I got some equipment out here is bad. It needs to go in the burn pile this year.
I don't know. Everybody's got their own way and all that stuff, but if you can't afford what we've found and figured out, if you can't afford the wax bit, when those boxes are raw, you'll get you some marine varnish. And Lee, I promise we got boxes 5 years old now, and they look just as good as they did for whenever we bought them. They're not rotten, they're not all busted up, you don't have any weak spots or anything in that wood. That marine varnish really helps sealing them boxes off.
I'll give it a try.
And a little bit of that stuff will go a long way. So don't be scared to put it on. Lay it on there good and heavy. And I usually let them boxes sit about 2 days. Let them air out. And once they air out good for a good couple days, we slap them on and go with it.
Most of my supers, I ain't gonna say all of them, but most of them, they're primed with oil base, and then I put the latex enamel over that. So most of my supers are still good, but some of my original brood boxes, they wasn't primed. They just got a coat of latex paint on it. Along with that first lid on the end that looked real bad, that was one of my original lids.
That's the only thing about some of them. What ain't that telescopic No, you have
Nah, it was
migratory lid on that.
migratory lid. That's what I'm trying to go to. I still got a couple of telescopics. But
I like the telescopic, but it's just, if they ain't put together good, it ain't too long before they'll go to separating and pulling apart.
Well, one of the problems I had, I forgot to put an inner cover on one down there, and they propylized it down. So when I tried to get it off, I popped the board off the back of the telescopic cover. I had to pry so hard it popped it off. So that's what made me want to start going to the migratory lids. I can just slide right on the edge and raise it up.
It's awesome being some bees though for a little while.
That's about what I got now. Like I said, I got some in here, some I've sold groups out of, or just sold a hive and transferred it to their equipment. And I should have put mine back in storage instead of just laying it out here. But
hey man, I imagine everybody that does beekeeping, they got stuff out in their yard. Just
Well, I had one rail at one time dedicated to just equipment, and now I got bees on one end and equipment on the other.
well, I'm eventually going to tear this shed down. I'm going to leave the lean-to on this side where I have my chickens, and I might leave the lean-to on the other side or rebuild it and do kind of like Mr. Ed, just putting some wire mesh all the way around so other animals and critters can't get in, and then just store all my boxes in there. That way they're open to the air, can air out good, and then get plenty of light in it too, maybe keep the wax moth out.
these little girls are bringing in quite a bit of pollen.
It's kind of a bright yellow.
Yeah, it's like a
Yeah.
All the wildflowers we see.
I think this bunch is bringing in truckloads of it. The other bunch, where was it? Old big girls down here.
Yeah. The other day they were all pulling in some good pollen, but I don't know if it's the little rain we got the other day. Maybe some of it got wet. I got some hives still at other yards that I'm going to get moved out here and fill in all these blank spaces.
Is that a 2-frame or 3-frame nuke box?
I think this is a 2. Yeah, 2 frame.
2-frame.
I was going to use that for just like a little mating nuke.
Yeah.
And never really put anything in it. Something's going off. Flower Street Farms. Hey Brian, I see you left a comment on YouTube. Can't get to it right now with gloves. Watch it going off too. Right here, you got one. Yeah, I got the garment. All my activities.
So they're tracking you, keeping up with you with
Yeah.
everything.
You know, I built 4 pollen feeders one year, and I bought the sub the year before. And I finally built some pollen feeders and did a video on it, and that year's probably the only time I've ever put pollen sub out.
I think I put it out for 2 years. I got a half of a 40-pound bag left
Yeah.
in the deep freeze right now. It's just been sitting there. I thought about putting it out here just to see if they would get to it or not, do anything with it, but then they started bringing in natural pollen.
Yeah.
So if they bring it in natural, they're not going to mess with that.
Well, that's what some people actually do. It's not just to feed the bees, it's actually just to kind of tell them, hey, something else is coming in, because the bees ain't around the pollen feeder no more,
Okay.
you know.
That makes
I didn't think about that. But yeah, I'm probably just going to get rid of it, because like I said, it's probably 3 or 4 years old, and it's just been
Yeah.
sitting in the deep freeze the whole time. So
I actually gave mine to Mike Berry. He needed some, and I had it.
But other than that, I mean, I think I've put 1 bucket. Well, I used to put a couple of the 1-gallon buckets on here with sugar
Yeah.
water on it,
Yeah.
with the top plug. I done that a few times, but really, I ain't done a lot of feeding,
Yeah.
whether it be pollen. I've never done fondant. I think I'd made 2 sugar bricks and put on 2 hives that was weak one year, and then I hadn't done any more sugar bricks
Yeah.
since then.
Most of the time I'll feed, you know, when I make nukes or something like that, I'll make a little sugar water then and feed. This past fall and fall before last is the only time I actually did a lot of sugar water feeding, just to make sure they had enough.
I guess one reason I hadn't had to feed a lot, especially like late winter, early spring for build up, because with work, you see,
Yeah.
I leave supers on the hives.
Yeah.
But then some of
don't-
y'all, like we'll take and feed, and you think, well, about November, so they'll kind of start idling on down a little bit. But they'll feed all the way up into December. real good and heavy, then finally kind of start slowing down until you're getting in, like this time of the year, you start getting in that spring a little bit, start pouring it to them.
I just found I try not to do the pollen patties anymore at all because of the hive beetle.
We didn't, like we really struggled with it, but we started crushing up peppermint candy, like running through a food chopper thing and mix it in with the pollen patty. And you never found a beetle in it.
I didn't think about it. We was talking about the peppermint oil that I got earlier with a little squirt trigger on it. I should have brought it out here.
We'll put you some in there.
It was that one right there, I think, that had all the problems we just seen. That's the worst I've ever seen the beetles.
We go through, whenever we're doing the pollen, we go through and feed just enough to where we're not leaving a whole bunch in there. We're leaving good heavy strips, I don't know, 1.5 inches or so long, maybe about 4 or 5 inches wide, just enough to sit on top of those frames a little bit. And oftentimes the bees that chew on that down pretty good by the time a week or so later you're getting in there checking on them.
Yeah.
It'll be just about time to, pull what left of the wax paper and add them a little bit more on there.
Man, you got to worry about the beetles getting in and laying.
No, it hadn't been nowhere near as bad doing that. Because we was doing the typical mistake of everything else, just slap a whole patty down there and,
Yeah,
let them
we
go.
did put a lot smaller pieces too.
That number 1 hive right there, that was my first hive, and when I got it, it was a nuke I bought from a guy. He called it swarm, and by the time I got it, it was like 5, almost 6 frames. So I put it into a 10-frame box. I didn't know no better. I put 3 full patties on top. But instead of just laying 3 patties on there, it's like I tore them all into pieces, but it was like 3 patties worth that I laid on there basically for a nuke to feed on. But luckily, it being the first year, I guess the beetles didn't know, hey, bees are here yet, so
Yeah.
I didn't have no problem, but I don't do that no more. I got 1 colony in the horizontal over there right now. I might put another split or 2 off of some of these that are almost ready. Put a split in there or something. Build them up about 3 frames and then just extend it out a little longer because that one has the divider walls in it that I can take out or slide over.
I think that's what we're going to do.
Built up big enough and then put them in an empty spot. But I'm going to end up building some more of these stands, probably a shorter one right here in between, and then build a few more going around that direction. I got to try to rip this fence out this year and replace that. That thing's 35 years old. And, I mean, we've done been flooded. In 2016, the water was way over my head back here.
Is there a river or something right here? Or just
About a half mile through the woods, we got Indian River.
I was going to ask you where the water come to because I saw that mobile home over there jacked up.
Yeah, they
2
dug a
of them.
big hole over there to build a mound for that. So all of this, I mean, it was completely underwater in 2016. I can show you a notch on my front porch. Me and my dad, we was cutting notches with a knife as the water was coming up. And once we seen water rise to highest level and then it started going down, then me and him left. And we got everybody else out before then. And we stayed.
I couldn't imagine that.
Yeah, it was way over my head back here. I don't know if y'all seen that trailer. Did y'all come in from the back side? Or did y'all come in from 16?
Backside.
Walk
Backside.
When you first turned in, they had a trailer on the corner. It looks like a half of a trailer
Yeah.
jacked up.
Yep.
You couldn't see the top of that trailer in the flood. It was
That's
probably
high.
3 foot over the top of that trailer. Is how much water we had here. And he's jacked up, what, 12 foot off the ground?
Yeah,
to
at
start
least.
with. And he was 3 foot above the trailer, water level.
It's a lot of water.
It got bad around here.
Huh.
Yeah.